into Tiger Talks Wrestling. I am your host, Tony. I am joined today by my co-host, Mr. Awesome, and a very special guest. Hello, everybody. Welcome into another edition of Tiger Talks Wrestling. Today, I am joined by three gentlemen as we are here to discuss AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling's Forbidden Door pay-per-view coming up this Sunday. Busta Boy, welcome into the show.
Yep.
And we got John.
What's up?
Welcome back. And D-Lock, welcome in, man.
What's up, fellas?
Much. So there have been a change to one of the matches I just seen on Twitter not that long ago that we'll get into in a little bit. So some interesting things that are happening with this.
Yeah, this is becoming freaking Sean. You know when P. Diddy created the group Danny Kane and everything just kept being messed up for Danny Kane? It seems like this is going to be the Danny Kane of wrestling. It's like, what is going on with this event right now?
Right. Yeah, there's been a lot of things which we'll get into, and like I said, in a little bit. A lot of injuries that have changed things, and I want to start, though, we'll start talking with the Buyin, as that's what they always start their shows with. A match that was just made during Dynamite last night. Official. We'll jump into it as soon as it wants to cooperate here. Here we go. So we got the Gun Club, Billy, Austin, and Colton teaming up with Max Caster from the Acclaim to face New Japan Pro Wrestling Dojo members, the DKC, Kevin Knight, Alex Coughlin, and Yu Uemura. Sorry if I butcher any of these names, but it's bound to happen.
Want to clarify something? Some of these I do know very well. Some of these I'm just finding out today. So, unfortunately, I cannot watch a lot of NJPW because their 8 p.m. is my 6 o'clock in the morning. So, and I'm in bed by then. So, I can't really watch it. I want to, but I can't.
Get that because I don't watch a whole lot of it either. But a lot of these guys I have seen throughout different shows. So, familiar with them anyway. Get that to go. There we go. So, this one, the thing that might catch most people's interest is the fact that you got the Gun Club and Max Caster, who have been working together, of course, the Acclaimed with the Gun Club for a while now. Been kind of entertaining. What all of you guys take from it, I don't know, but I thought it's been funny skits that you get before the matches, put it that way. Haven't been much success in matches, though.
I had this little conversation on Twitter with some of the marks, actually, about being edgy for the sake of being edgy is not cool. And it doesn't feel, every time I see the Acclaim, those guys are very entertaining. They don't seem like they do it just to do it, just for cheap, you know what I mean? Cheap heat. They do it just to go out there and have fun. And that's what I like about the Acclaim. Yeah, they're kind of a parody of themselves, if you think about it. It's kind of like a parody of a parody, which is what I like about them. But that's just my opinion. And Billy Gunn, well, he's just Billy Gunn, and he's just there.
That says something when you say Billy Gunn's just there.
just there. I mean, he's always been kind of just there to me. You know, even in the WWE, he was always just there.
It's true.
So he's kind of
he's just an extra body.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, the guy's talented. He has a lot of talent, but he's just okay. He's always been okay at best. It just seems like when he went to AEW, I was like, okay, cool. So he can actually help some of the young talent. He's done that, but him being at Forbidden Door, he might be able to teach some of these young talent a thing or two.
Possibly. I mean, Billy has seemed like he's kind of slowed down in the ring any times that you do see him wrestle in AEW, and most of the time when he does nowadays, it's with his boys. So,
yeah, that's what happens when you beat up your body a lot over the years, you know.
Sure.
But he has slowed down a lot, and the dude still got it a little bit, but I think it's time for him to pack it up. I think he's got like 2 more years left in him. It's time for him to stop for a while.
2 years, if that.
If you're lucky,
right?
I mean,
Yeah, I feel like the Acclaimed right now in Gun Club are they're over with the crowd right now. I mean, it ain't really so much the Gun Club. I mean, it's the Acclaim pretty much.
Exactly.
They're building up the Gun Club as themselves.
I'd agree. That pop always comes for Anthony Bowens, and Max's rap before the Gun Club tries to butcher what city they're in every week. So
it'll be interesting to see what kind of jokes the Acclaim can think of when they go to the Forbidden Door. It'd be funny. It'd be entertaining. We'll get a good laugh. But at the end of the day, I think it's going to be the NJPW dojo picking up the win. That's what I think.
all right, what you fellas got?
I'm agreeing with Busta. It's going to be NJWP picking up the win.
I feel like it's got to be the Acclaim. They got to stay going. They need to get a little bit of momentum because I would like to see them fight for at least the tag titles at some point.
Which one? They've only got like 3 or 4 or 5 different tag team titles they showcase that day.
Yeah. Probably just the regular tag titles. I mean, once the trios come, I don't know. I don't see them holding those. But
Right.
it's just the AEW World Tag Titles. I could see them, being able to capture those for once at least.
Yeah, this is going to be a split crowd here on this match because I got to agree with D-Lock here. I got the Gun Club and Max Caster picking up the win here. I think it's a way that AEW is going to want to start off their show on the pre-show, yes, but still getting AEW the W this week. Stop sharing that for a minute. Now we'll talk about the actual pay-per-view itself. As we know, there's been a few things that have changed from what the original plans were. First thing you got to talk about when talking about change, though, we'll dive right into the main event. CM Punk, AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Originally, it was supposed to be in the main event here at Forbidden Door. They're in Chicago. He's out with that injury. What do you guys take of what's going on with CM Punk's injury and the fact that Tony Khan wanted him to keep that title and is crowning an interim champion, which we'll get more into that later
on? The asshole side of me is like, what a double standard. If that would have been anybody else, they would have been stripped of the title. But because it's CM Punk and because he's their golden egg laying goose, his words, it's somehow nullifies him basically doing what is tradition, and that is relinquishing the belt due to injury and surgery. So they are left without a world champion now. And now they got an interim champion, which is just foolish. You should have just relinquished the belt, go for surgery, and then go for it again. It's absolutely foolish to have an interim title for no reason at all. But just for the sake of, here's a temporary belt because we really don't want our actual champion to drop the belt. And I think it's absolutely foolish. But then the logical side of me is like, it makes sense. Yeah, that was the pissed off side of me is like, this is stupid, it's pathetic, it's such a double standard. But then there's the logical side, which is like, it makes perfect sense. He's the moneymaker. They don't want him to be the shortest reigning champion. So they're going to keep it on him. So but that's I'm kind of torn on that one. I don't know how to feel about that.
Right.
Yeah, you can see it both ways. I think keeping the title on him, waiting for him to come back, and then obviously there's only one person that's going to take it off of him, and that's MJF. I mean, that's the money match. I mean, hopefully it will be in Chicago, but I feel like MJF has to be the only one to take that belt from him.
It's got to be MJF, especially with him saying that he's going to be leaving, and he's been very vocal about leaving in 2024. And he's been very open about it as well, about potentially leaving in 2024. So,
Well, you could even bring up the point that MJF actually hasn't been seen on TV since his little pipe bomb, so as to speak, a couple weeks ago on Dynamite as well. So,
and when he had that picture with Cody at the Performance Center, made other people turn some heads too. But the one thing that MJF is great of, and I always say this quite a bit, the one thing that I always respect about MJF is the same thing that I always respect about Everett Creed. He never breaks character. So you never really know if what he is saying is real or if what he is saying is his character. Just like with Brian Pillman, you know, a lot of great superstars of all time keep you guessing. They keep you on your toes. And with MJF, he always keeps you on your toes. You never know. Right when you think he's going to go one way, he goes the complete opposite direction. You're like, what?
right.
So I'm looking forward to seeing what exactly is what they're going to do with him. If they're smart, they'll capitalize on this, though, for sure.
Be interesting to see how so they do capitalize on the whole MJF situation whenever he does come back onto TV as well. But, John, what do you take on the whole CM Punk and world title situation?
It's like Busta said. If it was anyone else, the title would have been stripped. So I get that the event's supposed to be that the event is in Chicago, and this is a Golden Boy, but you got to treat all the wrestlers the same, because any other wrestler would lose the title. What makes him so different?
Right. Kind of have to agree. I'm a huge CM Punk fan and like that he's a world champion, but still knowing he's out with this, had to have surgery. Who knows how long he's out for? Nobody's really said. There hasn't been a timeline. Just give the title to somebody else. I mean, you're going to do this tournament anyway, pretty much, once you found out he was injured. So why have an interim champion? Just like Busta Boy was saying, I'd agree, have Punk go after the title when he comes back.
Because that makes too much sense.
Yeah. I mean, this is, of course, different than WWE, too, because this is AEW, and it's the first champion that's gone down with an injury. Is this the way Tony Khan's going to treat everybody else going forward? Because if not, then yes, it's definitely a double standard.
These are the moments that really decide what kind of company owner you are. Because when it happened to Dixie Carter, we found out what kind of company owner she was. And she wasn't really good at it. I mean, we all knew she wasn't good at it anyway, but you know.
Right.
I mean, you got to think too. I mean, they got 3 of their top guys down right now. I mean, you got Kenny Omega who's down. You got CM Punk who's down. Bryan Danielson who's just went down. You won't see him for probably a couple months. So, but at the end of the day, I think that AEW has plenty of roster to
Yes.
obviously keep the show going. So it's probably a good thing now that he has this bloated roster now. So
Yep. So that way, when a big player goes down, now you can go and you can say, hey, here's Adam Cole, here's Adam Page, here's Malachi Black, here's Pac. Here's all these guys that do have World Heavyweight title material written on them, like Malachi Black, right? How many times has people been saying when he was in WWE as Alistair? Everyone's like, dude, that dude could be world champion. That good dude could be world champion so many times, man. There we go.
We'll get into more on Malachi Black, rather, former Alistair Black here eventually. Good points brought up. We will bring up Brian as well in a little bit. But before that, speaking of Malachi, actually, he's part of this next little clip. It's actually going to be a little video here. I want to get just full screen here for a minute. See if they do to me what WWE did, but it was their YouTube channel, not their Twitter page that did this. I thought maybe it would actually tell you that there's been change in vicinity here. As you can see there, we had the tournament, sort of small tournament, to determine who would go on to be part of this All-Atlantic Championship Fatal 4-Way match to determine the first ever All-Atlantic champion. We've seen Pac was the first one to qualify for this match. We've seen Miro win to qualify with a victory over Ethan Page. We've seen Malachi Black just beat Penta to get in. And Clark Connors is a new addition to this match. As I'm going to go out of this full screen here. Tomohiro Ishii, who won the New Japan mini tournament to get into this match, is now injured and can no longer be a part of it. So Clark Connors is taking his spot instead.
All right.
So
we're gonna do my process of elimination. So Pac and Malachi are not winning this because they got the feud that never ends right now. So neither one of those two are winning that. So that ain't happening because the feud, again, it's the feud that never ends. The only logical person that I could think of taking the belt would be Miro. So I think Miro is going to, and I know Clark Connors, they're going to make him look like a beast. Like they always do. They're going to make him look like an absolute beast. But at the end of the day, I think Pac is going to take the fall here. And I think Miro is going to walk out the champion. I see no other logical person. Logically, I think that it would be smart to put the belt on Miro. So that's who I'm going with.
all right. So I'll take it from there. Clark Connors is, of course, new to this match. He's kind of the X factor, so as to speak, to this match, in my opinion. But I'm going to say it's going to come down to two guys as well here. But I'm going to flip the switch on you on who I think is going to win and not pick who Busta Boy did there. Miro, I can see being one of the two biggest potential winners of this match. However, I'd rather see the guy who hasn't held any gold in AEW yet walk out as the first ever All-Atlantic champion. That being the bastard Pac is who I've got winning this match. Yeah, John Ford being.
All right, so I think it's come down to Miro and Malachi. And I think they're going to put gold on Malachi just because he's the leader of the House of Black. You're going to want a title on someone in there. This would be the perfect time to do it.
Good point.
I don't know. I got it going down to Malachi or Pac. I feel like, I mean, both of them need it. You could go either way with it. You could go Malachi or you could go Pac. Save Malachi for when the trios titles come out, put them on the House of Black, and then go that way. But I mean, either way, it could go both ways. I just don't see Miro winning this. I feel like he needs to be more world title contention now. And I mean, even you could go TNT, but I mean, he needs to be in the world title picture regardless.
I'd agree with that. I could see bringing up the past. I could see Kip Sabian potentially getting involved here and costing Miro this match as well. I mean, we've been seeing him sit in the front row, even though he's had a paper bag over his face for the last couple weeks. So you never know when he's gonna pop back into the storyline either. So, but
that's the thing. You could take it. I mean, you could take it two ways. I mean, those are the ways I think. If Pac wins, then you can obviously go Malachi for the trios. If Malachi wins, and I mean, it helps him out more. And so,
yeah. Either way, I definitely think Miro should be going for the world title, regardless. Right. You know, even if he does win this or lose this, he should definitely go for the world title because that dude should have been gone for the world title a long time ago. He should have been.
Well, we know for sure he's definitely not going to be taking the pin during this match. So,
exactly.
Oh yeah, he's going to be dominant in this whole match for sure. But the only person that I feel that could really match him is Malachi. That's what I feel.
All right. Moving along. The next match you got is the winner takes all match for both the IWGP World Tag Team Championships and the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles. You got Roppongi Vice, who's a tag team that's very familiar with both titles. You got, of course, the IWGP World Tag Team Champions, Jeff Cobb and Great Khan. And then you got the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions, FTR. Somebody's walking out with both gold. All the gold, man.
Okay. This is where the inexperienced one comes into play. I am familiar with everybody except 3 people.
Really?
Obviously, I'm familiar with FTR. I am very familiar with Jeff Cobb. I know exactly who he is. I know exactly who Jeff Cobb is. I have heard about him. I have also seen his matches. And I will tell you one thing. Not just his match he had with Moxley in AEW. I've seen him before that, long before that, actually. And I want to tell you, that dude, if you guys have not seen him in action, you are in for a hell of a treat. That dude has a great mixture of power and speed, as well as technique. Believe it or not, as big as he is, everyone talks about athletic big men. Yeah, Cobb's is the total package when it comes to big, like, agile big men. And the dude is truly the total package. And they all need, like, FTR needs to watch out. If they want to win this match, they got to isolate Jeff Cobb. They've got to take him out of the equation because he is dangerous, especially when he gets going. And if they let him go in this match, he's taking it. That's just the way it is. Like, Jeff Cobb is dangerous. The other ones I'm not quite familiar with. but I'm pretty sure they're going to surprise me. But I think, in my opinion, this is not over between Cobbs and the great dude as well as FTR. It's not over between those two, so they're going to want to progress that storyline between those four. But I think Vice is going to surprise people here. I think they're going to surprise them, and I think they're going to take it all. I have a feeling, just a hunch. So I'm gonna have to go with my gut here. I think they're gonna surprise a lot of people in this match, and I think somehow they're going to pull off the victory.
Interesting. John, what you got?
I'm probably gonna have to go with Jeff Cobb and Great O'Khan. Just something tells me that, like Busta said, they're going to want to build it between those four with them and FTR. And I feel like with Jeff Cobb and Great O'Khan, didn't they just recently get those titles?
I believe so.
Then why take them off now? Let them go with a big run and make it an interesting storyline.
Good point. D-Lock, what you got?
I think I got FTR. I mean, I think it's a no-brainer. I mean, they're the most over tag team and as single guys, I think, in the company right now. And I mean, if you put the titles on them, then, I mean, it's no-brainer. They're going to have all the titles by the end of the year. I just see it coming. I mean, obviously, they've already been throwing out hints about it. You know, they're wanting all the titles, and I could see it. I mean, and don't get me wrong, I love Jeff Cobb. Jeff Cobb is an absolute monster. Great O'Khan's a beast. And even Roppongi Vice. I mean, but I just have that feeling that they're going to book FTR to win this match and then just hold all the gold in all the companies.
Nice. So, when you talk about the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions, I mean, 3 of these 6 guys are well known when it comes to Ring of Honor, that being Jeff Cobb and both members of Roppongi Vice have quite the history there. Of course, it's newer for FTR being the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions. Now they're getting a little well known for the Ring of Honor fans. If they're going to get Ring of Honor TV up and going again, they're going to want the gold on a team that's going to be used more often than not. Therefore, I think I like the Jeff Cobb and Great O'Khan tag team from what I've seen of them, but I feel like FTR is a team that's going to be around more, and it'll either be them or Roppongi Vice that wins this match. I got to go with D-Lock, though. I got FTR winning, carrying the gold. I mean, they've got the AAA tag team titles, I think, right now too. So
they'll be the first team to hold all 4 major company tag team titles. They'll be the first team to hold the WWE tag team, the AEW tag team, AAA tag team, Ring of Honor tag team, and the other tag teams. Yeah.
They've held tag team gold everywhere they've been so far. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're going for the Mega Grand Slam of Tag Team Champions.
Yeah, they're going like Dudley Boys level of crazy right now in the tag team division.
That is a pretty decent comparison, I would say. FTR and the Dudleys. Though a lot of people would probably compare them somewhat to the Hart Foundation as well, but their love for Bret Hart too. Move on from there. Let's see.
I'm going to turn off my fan real quick.
Oh, my bad. Okay. And we're done. What's next? Of course, get a little preview of that match when Cash Wheeler faces Jeff Cobb on Rampage tomorrow night. see which one I can find next. Might just have to go to AEW's page. All right. So while I'm doing this, we could talk about, because I know it's pretty much going to be the next match I'll bring up here, Bryan Danielson's injury. They're saying it came during the Anarchy in the Arena match. How much do we believe in that, though? Because to me, it seems like he's been wrestling a little bit injured and might have actually did something when he fell in between the apron and the ring as well.
Yeah, I think he further injured himself when he took a bad bump. The last time he was in a match, I can't remember when that was.
I mean, it's a big blow either way, but to not have Bryan Danielson, one of your best guys on the roster, on this big of a card. Hopefully, to mention, it won't be too terribly long that he'll be out of action. I don't even know if they've got pictures of the matches on here or not. Should.
Yeah, I think with Brian, I think it's something to do with his neck. And I feel like they just want to be cautious. And
yeah.
Now, it's one of those things where they're gonna just find out when it happens at the event. Probably who's gonna replace him. And I'm calling it right now. I'm saying it's Samoa Joe. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Joe and Sabre Jr. I don't know why, but I'm just thinking it. Don't know why, but I'm just thinking it's going to be Joe.
I'm thinking Cesaro.
Ooh, Cesaro?
really, yeah, that it's going to be Claudio. It's either going to be Claudio.
Or?
Mm-hmm.
So I've been hearing one name more than anybody else to be the mystery opponent, as we're talking about. I got the picture up here. Zack Sabre Jr. versus whoever Bryan Danielson's handpicked
It's going to be right back. I
tell you.
What if Bryan's back? I'm thinking it's MJF.
Ooh, MJF?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I don't see that happening either.
think
But
so.
hey, I'm throwing it out
Let's
there.
be realistic. It's going to be William Regal.
Yeah, sure.
It's going to be Ryback or William Regal. Why not?
No. In all seriousness, there's been really just two names that have been mentioned that I've seen. That being the one you guys are mentioning.
Cesaro and Johnny Gargano.
Exactly. And a lot of fingers are pointing towards Johnny Gargano right now, from what I've seen.
Well, if it is Gargano, that would be great. So, but I'm thinking, because I am very, very familiar, like, how do you not know who Zack Sabre Jr. is? Like, who isn't familiar with him? Like, his name is everywhere. I mean, he has some of the greatest matches in a non-WWE ring of all time.
Free Danielson. Yeah, sure, H2.
I mean, the dude is absolutely talented in more ways than one, and constantly, he is probably one of the most versatile wrestlers that there is out there. That dude can get down and dirty with the technical wrestling and the submissions, and he can match you up with the speed, or he can come out of nowhere with the power. I mean, look at his matches, his legendary matches with Will Ospreay. You know, look at some of his matches that he's done with Marty Scurll. You know, the dude is multi-talented. He can. There is no submission that he cannot do. You know, but the dude is awesome, and I'm looking forward to seeing him again. It's been a while since I watched him in action. I'm really hoping that that AEW doesn't pull a WWE here and say, "Hey, I'm going to make my company look good, and everyone else is going to look like shit," because that would just be the biggest middle finger to NJPW that anyone has ever done. Because to me, I think NJPW just needs to go out there, do NJPW shit, and let's let AEW let them go out there and do what they do best. Entertain the crowd and introduce America to the real strong style. You know, let them go out there and be them. So This would be a perfect opportunity for Sabre Jr. to go out there and just fucking be Sabre Jr.
Now, I'll admit, for me, I never really had seen much of Zack Sabre Jr. until the Cruiserweight Classic a few years back, but I knew who he was. And I think a lot of people knew who he was, whether you had watched him or not, you'd heard of him.
Oh, yeah.
This is even a bigger opportunity and a bigger platform for him to show what he can do. And whomever the mystery opponent is, whether it's Johnny or it's Cesaro, I think that Zach's going to come close to getting the win, but I think he might end up falling short to whomever probably is going to be debuting for AEW in this match.
Yeah, now I've only seen a handful of his matches. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, I've seen like every match of his, because that's not the case. But I also agree with you. I think he's going to come up just a little bit short. It's just going to blow down to one mistake, and I think the mystery opponent's going to get him.
Mystery opponent's got to look good going into Blood and Guts. So.
Oh, yeah. If it
I'm
is
just going to say who I think it is. Cesaro's winning the match.
Yeah, if it is Cesaro, definitely. I see Cesaro taking it.
Brian mentioned something about the guy kicking heads in again, too. I mean, Johnny Gargano's known for kicking people's heads in, too. So it makes sense in a way.
Oh, yeah, for sure. If it is Gargano, he's winning too. If it's Cesaro, he's winning. Either way, if it's those two.
I do think Gargano and Sabre will put on a lot better match than Sabre and Cesaro.
For sure.
We'll see.
I think it's going to be with Cesaro and Sabre Jr., it would be more like a power versus speed thing. And it would be too cliche. I think people would expect Cesaro to go out there and do Cesaro shit and overpower him. But the way they're building it up, the way they're hyping up this mystery person, it better be someone really good, you know?
But does it have to be someone that's debuting? Could it be someone already on the roster that you've seen before?
Perhaps.
Like maybe, I don't know, Kyle O'Reilly?
No, Kyle and Bobby are both out with injuries right now.
Gotcha.
Tony Khan confirmed that today.
Okay.
What you got, D-Lock?
We don't need to see the undisputed.
I think either way, it being Johnny or Cesaro, I think either one of those, if they're in the match, then I feel like they're gonna win. And I mean, I love Sabre Jr. He's fantastic in the ring, but I just don't see them. Unless he wins by a shitty way, but I just don't see Sabre pulling this one out.
It'll be interesting to see who the mystery opponent is, anyways. How heelish of Bryan Danielson was it to let it play up with the crowd on Dynamite last night and then be like, hey, you'd seen I came out the heel tunnel, right? I'm not telling you guys anything.
Yeah, I even knew he's a babyface.
What are you talking about? He's a heel. Clearly.
He's a babyface. He's in the Blackpool Combat Club. He's a babyface.
But he's the only one that comes out the heel door, right? The heel tunnel.
Yeah, the only one.
From the Blackpool Combat Club.
I really like this Blackpool Combat Club a lot. I'm just want to tell you right now, I really like what they're doing. Like I want to tell you, in terms of booking and what they're doing with them, I like it a lot. They really booked them strong, and I'm enjoying it. Something that I can put AEW and enjoyable in the same sentence without struggling. Yeah, I'm gonna be the freaking Jim Cornette of this area. I'm gonna be complaining all the time.
You go.
Where's Twinkle Toes when we need him? Where's he at?
I had my issues with AEW and I made that public, but
where's Twinkle Toes at? Kenny Omega.
Anyway, H2 in the comment section says, for real, though, I think it's Cesaro that's going to be the opponent. Someone on Reddit suggested it could be Regal. Pretty sure Regal has lost a step or 12, but he's smart enough to be able to cover his weaknesses. He would be, but I just don't feel like William Regal's the way to go with this.
Too much of a hot take.
No.
Yeah.
Also, Jonathan Gresham has been a name put out there as well.
Yeah, I did see that too.
Yeah, I heard that one as well.
Current Ring of Honor World Champion, I do believe, Jonathan Gresham. Won't be too surprising. All right. Move along. Sure, this would be probably showing the same thing that the other did, but hey, we'll full screen it anyway.
I promise I'm not going to go on a tangent.
Yeah, no tangents on this
Boy.
Young Bucks, because we know how you love the Young Bucks festival.
I'm gonna just keep.
Look, we already look. We ain't even gonna have this dang screenplay out. We know Sting's gonna jump off a damn balcony at 60-something years old. We know it's gonna happen.
Yeah, we know.
He's either gonna jump off the balcony or he's gonna jump off the Titantron. One of the two.
We're gonna see like 20,000 super kicks from the Young Bucks. We already know that too.
And Darby's gonna bust a skateboard over somebody.
But at the end of the day, I'm gonna be giving it to. I'm gonna give it to dudes with attitudes on this one.
I agree with Bust 100%. Dudes with attitudes. I mean, probably not for the same reasons as Busta, but yeah.
I mean, I'm just keeping it short, so I don't have to look at the Young Bucks, so I won't be tempted to go on a tangent. Because I've been on record multiple times about how I feel about the Young Bucks, so I'm just gonna be quiet.
So I'm going to disagree with both of you here. I'm actually going to go BC Bullet Club for the victory.
Yeah, I feel like they're just gonna go Bullet Club for the nostalgia. Honestly.
Right?
Yeah.
Bucks are in the Bullet Club for one night only again. So,
like I mentioned, everyone knows how I feel about the Young Bucks, but I actually am not doing it just to be biased towards the Young Bucks. I think to progress the story a little bit more, I think it would make the faces in the story here would probably need a win here.
I mean, either that or the dudes with attitudes could win, and then they start setting up a little animosity between the Undisputed Elite and the Bullet Club, and then we start kind of getting into that storyline a little bit.
Yeah, my boy
That's
Takahashi
a good prediction. I like that.
Oh, I also want to. I know I'm going to butcher the name. I already know. Let's also just say for one reason and one reason only. Hiromu Takahashi. That's all I'm going to say. Takahashi for the win. If he would have been on the Bullet Club, I would have said Bullet Club because of Takahashi. Very familiar with that guy. I know exactly who he is. The dude is absolutely epic. If you guys have not seen a Takahashi match, go watch one. It is a trip. That's all I'm going to say. Not taking anything away from Takagi, because Shingo Takagi is also amazing as well. So, He's another one that's really good. I'm not as familiar with Takagi as I am with Takahashi, but I'm very familiar with Takahashi. And he's actually one of my top 5 favorite NJPW wrestlers of all time. It's him. Kazuchika Okada. You knew that was coming. What's the other one? Kota Ibushi. He's another one that I really enjoy. Suzuki's another one that I really like. Yoshihiro Tajiri. Yeah, he's another one that I really love. And of course, gotta go with my boy Taka Michinoku. Because why not?
Right?
There was another one I'm missing. I know that. I just can't think of him right now.
Well, since his name got one of these names got brought up. The next match. When it loads here is a fatal 4-way match. It's taking forever. There we go. Is you got the IWGP Heavyweight Championship on the line. The build for it's been quite unique, as of course Jay White and Adam Cole were the first to announce this Forbidden Door event coming. But you got Jay White, who just took the title off of. The Switchblade, Jay White.
We got to put that in there. The Switchblade, Jay White.
Yeah, we're getting there. Correct. Just bring it up back. Jay White did just take the title off of Okada. So this is a new reign for him, but he will have his hands full as he defends against fellow Bullet Club member Adam Cole, Okada, and Hangman Page.
Okay.
Yeah, I knew somebody would have to let it in.
Here we go. First and foremost, nothing against Kazuchika Okada. He's the Rainmaker. He could do anything. But I think that Jay White is retaining. I see no reason for him to lose it right now. I don't think, eventually, Okada will win the belt back, but I don't see it happening tonight. I don't see it happening at Forbidden Door. Jay White's going to hold on that belt a little bit longer, and it's going to be kind of heelish. I think Okada's going to shine really good in this. Someone's eating a freaking Rainmaker clothesline, and I think that Jay White is going to capitalize on that. And of course, he's going to definitely hit Adam Cole with the Blade Runner. I see it coming. He's getting hit with the Blade Runner. That's what's happening. Those two are too friendly, and Adam Cole's still pissed off about him not being chosen. So he's going to want to try to steal that belt from him, and he's going to eat a Blade Runner. And I think that Adam Page could afford to lose it, to take a pin here. So I think Page is going to take a pin. He can afford it. And with those two progressing in their storyline still, this Adam Cole, Adam Page storyline is still in effect still, kind of. But I don't think it's going to be Page that's going to take the L here. It's hard to tell who is going to eat the pin, but if I want to add bonus points, I'm going to probably say that it's probably going to be Cole eating the pin. I think it's going to be Jay White retaining the belt, and I think that Cole's going to take the pin here.
Well, like I said for the last prediction, if you're going to take the title off of Jay White, then we're obviously going to have, Bullet Club versus Undisputed Elite, where Kenny Omega comes back. It's the only way, if you're going to book it the right way and take the title off of Jay White, then that needs to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
we don't know when Omega comes back, though.
I really don't know. Logically, I would say Jay White because he just got it, but I could see them bouncing it back onto Okada.
Yeah, this one's a toughie.
It is.
So every choice that you make is a wrong choice. There's no right choice here. He said and all four of them are liked by a lot of the fans. They're all over. You know.
So what I think I could see happening is Hangman hitting somebody with a buckshot, and then getting hit with the last shot, if you will, from Adam Cole, and then Cole getting hit with the Blade Runner. Jay White picks up the win and retains the title.
That or Kushida or Okada dang hits Cole with the Rainmaker, throws Okada or out of the ring, Jay White does, and then covers Adam Cole for the win.
Cole, yeah. I think Cole's taking the pin from White.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, for sure. He's definitely eating a Blade Runner for sure. I mean, I can say I saw that. I thought he was going to eat one on Thursday.
Wednesday.
Yeah. I'm used to it coming on Thursday. When I see it, it's on Thursday. Sorry, I watch it. I see it on Thursday.
What you got, John?
I got Jay White winning, but in a very weird way, which you, of all people, kind of like ruined that. But anyways, I think Heyman Page is gonna take out Jay White at first. Then you got Okada taking out Page. Cole hit Okada, and then Jay White's gonna screw Cole over at the end and get the win.
You can see that.
Kind of like how, not to mention WWE in this broadcasting, but kind of how like WWE did to get CM Punk to take on the Undertaker.
Yeah. Right. Definitely see it. Either way, if White pins Cole or Cole somehow walks out with the title by beating White, I could see the whole Undisputed Elite Bullet Club feud rivalry kicking off with Forbidden Door. Otherwise, yes, I agree with Okada. Possibly could win it. I don't see any way that Hangman Adam Page can actually afford to be the one to get pinned in this match. He's been on a roll ever since he lost the world title. I don't see them stopping that here by having him eat the loss. He's still over. All right, what else we got? Let's see which one we come up to next. No, which one I want to talk about next, whether or not that's next on I come up to. What we could see, though, at the end of this match, either way, rumor has it that he should be cleared sooner rather than later. We could see Kenny Omega make an appearance at this pay-per-view. And what better spot than after this match would there be to have him appear?
I feel like he has to appear on this pay-per-view regardless.
Right?
I mean, he has to. Even if he's not cleared, I feel like he just needs to make an appearance.
I agree.
And the fans really miss him, too. The memes that we see within the wrestling community right now. They have the thing, you know how they have the days without injury at the work? Someone says days without Omega in wrestling. Someone put that.
I've seen that on Twitter.
I'm like, what the hell? They got a days without Omega in wrestling. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this community? Oh, man.
Trying something else. All right. Images. I'm going to go away from Twitter here. I'm trying to find these last few matches. Next one is this one. So I want that there. Why the heck they got that picture there? No, I want it. I like this picture. Okay, there we go. The next match we got. The IWGP US Championship. Got the returning Orange Cassidy going one-on-one with the champ, Will Ospreay.
Huh? What happened? Something about Orange Cassidy. What happened?
Yep.
Sorry, I was too busy putting sunglasses on and putting my hands in my pocket.
I'm sorry, I was too busy watching something else to pay attention to what was going on with Orange Cassidy. I mean, I get it. Right? I understand. All right. Don't worry, it's not going to be too bad of a tangent. I understand the Orange Cassidy shit. I understand it, all right? But stop trying to put a fucking title on him. Stop. Just stop. That would be like in backyard wrestling, right? That would be like someone putting no offense. That would be like putting a title on somebody like the Winnipeg Warrior, somebody who's not meant to be taken seriously. Come on. Stop this. Just stop. Will Ospreay's gonna kick your ass and you can go cry some more. Bye. Fuck out of here.
Well, there's Busta Boy's take.
Look,
Who's
Cassidy. Look, Cassidy as a wrestler, he's great. Love his wrestling ability. His character fucking sucks. His character sucks. I don't know, and I feel like, I mean, Will Ospreay's obviously gonna win this, but I do feel like this is gonna be a sleeper match, and I feel like it's gonna be one of those that, I mean, be close to stealing the show. I mean, these two guys and their wrestling ability is going to be great.
Yeah.
But like I said, just Cassidy's character, I can't get behind it. I can't.
Oh my God. If you're going to make a goofy character, at least know how to do it. Look at Cameron Jackson, what he did with Clunk. That's somebody that knows how to do a fucking character. If you're going to do a goofy character, at least know how to do it. This was just an absolute joke character, and there was no point. And yeah, he needs to take it seriously. I think he's going to do it. I think he's going to come close, but at the end, he's going to get his ass kicked, and Will Ospreay's going to beat the hell out of him. So.
To D-Lock's point here, you do got to remember Orange Cassidy has not one, but 2 victories over Chris Jericho. I mean, that's not something that's easy to come across.
Yeah.
He's got other big wins in AEW as well. However, Will Ospreay's good point. H2 just made in the comment section. Juice Robinson returns and Orange Juice is formed. You couldn't possibly see that. Juice Robinson does have the IWGP US Championship still because he was stripped of it but would not give up the title. So you could see Juice Robinson here at some point. But I still think Will Ospreay is walking out still champion.
100%. There's no way Orange Cassidy is going to get done. I mean, like you said, he has 2 wins over Jericho. He's not fighting Jericho. He's fighting Will Ospreay. He's about to get his ass kicked.
Will Ospreay, that's the difference between Ospreay and Jericho is like night and day. You know, I mean, no offense to Jericho. Yeah, he's an experienced veteran. But Ospreay has been in there with some very tough opponents. And he is no...
I wasn't trying to compare Will Ospreay and Chris Jericho to each other. I'm just saying Chris Jericho's a big name. It would be cool
to see those 2 fight. Can we see those 2 fight instead of Orange Cassidy, Will Ospreay, please? That would be awesome.
No, unfortunately, we can't because Chris Jericho's got other plans that night.
Ugh.
And that brings us to the next match.
No, actually, it didn't. We'll get into that one shortly, though.
I just had to get that. I had to get that out. You know, I had to get that out for a while, man. I had to.
Actually, this is the next match.
Yes, please.
The AEW Women's Championship. on the line is you got Toni Storm facing Thunder Rosa for that AEW Women's World Championship.
Oh, man. Now, this one is really hard to call. Both these women deserve it. You know what I mean? Both these women deserve the title. Both these women have momentum going into this match. So there goes that the logical, obvious pick, because they both have high momentum going in this match. So there goes that one. So now it's just going to boil down. I think it's just going to boil down to who's going to hit their finisher first, to be honest. Like who hits, like, I'm just going to put it this way, like who can hit their finisher first and who can hold their shoulders down the hardest. Because it's going to be hard hitting. It's going to be intense. It's going to be a tough fight. It's not going to be an ordinary match. It's going to be a fight. But I think at the end of the day, I think Thunder Rosa is going to weather the storm. No pun intended. I think Thunder Rosa is going to retain her belt. As much as I want Toni Storm to win this, I have to go with my girl Thunder Rosa. I have to go with her.
If I can let anybody piggyback off of that, H2 did mention you really can't say Orange Cassidy doesn't know how to do the comedy character thing. Dude is signed to a TV company over as fuck and will have a long career because he is protecting his bump card. Makes a good point on that. You see a lot of guys that are having to retire early because of all the bumps they take. But on to this one, though. Who's got next on Rosa and Storm?
I mean, in WWE, Toni Storm really wasn't getting what she deserved. And
I'd agree.
She's really proven her point here in AEW where she should be, and it's going to be so great to see Thunder Rosa keep the title.
Yeah, D-Lock.
Yeah, I think this would be Thunder Rosa. I mean, Tony's great. I just feel like Thunder Rosa's booking right now is just not TV time. And, I mean, this match is going to be great, but I feel like Thunder Rosa needs this just a little bit more than Tony does. And don't get me wrong, I think Tony's going to hold that belt at some point, but I just don't think right now.
I'm actually going to disagree with all three of you on this one. I think
Wow,
Thunder
what a
Rosa.
shocker.
Yeah, I know, right? Thunder Rosa's had kind of a short reign, yes, but she's been injured as well a couple different times during this short reign. So I could see Tony Khan wanting to take the title off of her just to be on the safe side. Also, Toni Storm's been on a roll. Yes, she lost her match to Britt Baker in the tournament, the Owen Hart tournament, but she came back and she's gotten revenge and beaten Britt Baker since then. I just feel like it's, well, Tony time, if you will, at Forbidden Door. Not to say that Thunder Rosa won't come back. I mean, you could even go the route of Toni Storm picking up the win here, Thunder Rosa turning heel after the match too. I can see something like that. But to continue the feud. You can't have both. If they're going to continue this feud either way, though, you can't have both staying as a babyface tonight.
I mean, and that's the thing, too. It's like, I mean, whoever wins, I don't know who I see next. I mean, who's going to be next if Thunder wins? And then who's going to be next if Tony wins? I mean, they're kind of in a tough spot right now because they haven't really built the women very well right now. And I mean, don't get me wrong, Britt's great, but I don't want to see her as champion again right now.
Right?
We know what she can do.
If they're going to go that route.
Yeah. We know what Britt can do as champion. She is a great champion. She's great on the mic. We know what Britt Baker can do. We need to see what all these other people can do. You know, people where right now we know Athena is not going to be challenging for the women's title anytime soon because she's in a storyline with Britt Baker.
We're going after the TBS title.
Yeah, they're still in there. Oh yeah,
and that's the thing. And that's the thing with Jade. I mean, you could say Jade, but I don't think Jade's ready yet. Not yet.
No.
Definitely down the road. Down the road, yes. Right now, no.
Exactly.
Jade Cargill right now.
She's in a good.
She's in a great spot right now, and I think she takes her bumps pretty well too. To be honest, I think she takes the bumps pretty well. I think she takes. I think she does. She does the spots pretty good, but I don't think she's quite ready at that level yet that she needs to be. Not yet.
Yeah, no. I mean, and you could say Chris Statlander, but I feel like Chris Statlander is going to be the one that takes it off Jade.
Statlander's kind of, to be honest, with Statlander, she's kind of fizzled out with me a little bit. I think she's kind of fizzled out. Like, I liked her character a little bit, but the question that I asked when I first saw Chris Statlander is the same thing that I'm asking when I still see Chris Statlander. And it's like, what are you supposed to be? Where are you going with your character right now? Because, I mean, it was something unique. It was something different. You know, she was supposed to be an alien, but now I don't know what the hell they're doing with her.
Right.
Now she's an alien, but a human, but an alien. Now she's a human again. What are you doing with her? But and I don't think they really have anybody right now because, you know, Mia Yim recently announced that she's not going to come back to wrestling for a while on her Twitch channel. I mean, on her YouTube channel, she announced that she wasn't coming back.
She is just recently signed to Impact.
Like a live stream.
Yeah,
but
I mean, that
was like a few weeks ago when I noticed it, but I haven't been in the loop lately. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's just nobody. I mean, you could say Athena down the line. You could say, obviously, Statlander. But I think the big, pot stirrer in the room is obviously Sasha Banks if she's going to come to AEW. And if she does, she's obviously going to be winning the title. It's obvious.
They're going to put the title on her wherever she goes. If she goes to Ring of Honor, they're going to put the title on her. If she goes to Impact, they're going to put the title on her. If she goes to AEW, they're putting the title on her. Doesn't matter, regardless. So if I were her, though, I would go somewhere. I would go to like Impact or something because I think, in my opinion, I think Impact is the best place for the women's division right now because I think they book them pretty decent. They don't overbook them, but I think they book them pretty decent, like right down the middle.
I mean, we can have that Sasha Banks.
I feel like Sasha's too big. Yes,
but
I feel like Sasha's too big of a star. I feel like she's too big of a star. I mean, I would like to see her in New Japan. I think New Japan would be good for her if she would, she could go to AEW, but also kind of bounce back and forth in between AEW and New Japan. And don't get me wrong, I feel like Impact too. I feel like Impact's women's division is the best in the world. Like they have some absolute stars over there right now, but they just don't have enough. They just don't have enough eyes on the product.
Yeah, and I think that's definitely going to hurt a lot. And I don't think Sasha Banks' name is big enough to put eyes on that product either. I mean, it's a big name. She's very big. Don't get me wrong, but you got to think too: is it big enough to get eyes wherever you go?
True.
All right, we were on that way too long. My fault. I know you want that.
That was about 2 minutes.
It was decent time. I mean, bring up good points. There is no really definitive number one contender after Tony Storm or Rosa, whoever loses the match. So
So they might.
And I mean that's the thing too. You can't just like Athena. You can't just throw her in there if you're trying to do like rankings and stuff like that. They have to work up and build themselves up to get to that point.
It's got it, yeah. And a lot of the women's division right now in AEW is not in just AEW. They're in Dark and Elevation, which is not a lot of people, let's be honest here. The reason why I watch Dark is for Fuego del Sol. I don't give a shit about anybody else. And AK-47. I don't give a shit about anyone else. Just being honest. And if Jordan Oliver goes there, I watch it for him too. Or Tyler Aiken or anybody. I watch their match and that's it. Just being honest. I don't want to sit there for like 2.5 hours watching that, you know? I don't care about those people.
yeah, my only thing with Dark and Elevation was that most of the matches were pretty much you knew who was gonna win even before the match started. So
Yeah.
for the most part, not all matches. Moving along though, Forbidden Door, we got the trios match. As you got Eddie Kingston representing BCC, Willer Yuta as well, the Ring of Honor Pure Champion, and Shota Umino against Chris Jericho, Minoru Suzuki, and Sammy Guevara.
Okay. We know that there was those. They're gonna want more. They're gonna want some momentum going into Blood and Guts. So we know this team, the Combat Club, and the Jericho Appreciation Society, or AKA the fucking. It's literally just a 2.0 of their other one.
Inner Circle.
Yeah, it's Inner Circle 2.0. That's all it is. I'm calling it Inner
You
Circle.
better be careful what you say. He's gonna throw a fireball at you because he's a damn wizard.
Yep. Okay, Ultimate Warrior. Okay. Okay, Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior. But yeah, it's Inner Circle 2.0. That's all it really is.
Chris Jericho, the master of nicknames.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go with it. I'm just gonna say that I think the heels are gonna win this one. I think Inner Circle 2.0 is gonna win. Jericho Appreciation Society.
It's Suzuki.
And Suzuki. And Suzuki's awesome. He is.
Yes, I agree.
He's awesome. See, we got to talking about that. I almost completely forgot Suzuki was in the match. And that's the issue. People forget about Suzuki. And he reminds them each and every single time he's in matches who the hell he is. He's a hard hitter.
I mean, Suzuki wasn't on TV for very long on Wednesday night on Dynamite at the end of the show, and you still knew he was there. So even the crowd knew who he was.
He's a good wrestler. He's a good athlete, though. That's the thing. He's been in the game for a long time.
He has.
So you gotta respect him. But I think at the end of the day, I think that I still am sticking with Jericho, Sammy, and Suzuki taking the victory here.
So they kind of fast tracked this whole Sammy rejoining up with Jericho and Hager now, didn't they? Just out of the blue, he's all of a sudden helping Jericho keep his hair and joining up with the society after he was the first one to say, "Hey, I'm done with the Inner Circle."
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay then. I mean, yes, now he's got this thing with Ty Conti and the fans are shitting on him because of it, but go a whole 180 and have him rejoin the group that he was with, or part of it. Whatever. Anyway, who you guys got? John D-Lock.
I got the Jericho Appreciation Society, but only because I think it's going to come down to the two between Suzuki and I'm going to butcher this so bad. Umino.
Something like that.
I think it's going to come down to those two, and
Umino.
Suzuki's going to get the win out for Jericho Appreciation Society.
Don't worry, I do it too. You should have heard me when I first started started mentioning about Okada and Takahashi. You should have heard me.
I like what you said instead of Takahashi. Takafukahashi.
Yeah, he's fucking awesome. I'm just gonna say that right now. That's all I'm saying.
I thought he said teriyaki. I don't.
It's funny because one of my friends got introduced and he called him Takakashi. I'm like, no, it's Takahashi.
No, his name's teriyaki. His name's teriyaki.
He's named after a noodle dish.
Yeah.
That's funny.
No, I got Jericho Appreciation Society because I think that after this and then they go to Blood and Guts, I think Blackpool Comeback Club will go over in that match.
I have to agree. I think Wheeler Yuta is going to get plenty of spots in this match because of the way they've been booking Wheeler over the last several months, since even before he joined the club.
He almost had that battle royal.
What's that?
He almost had that battle royal. Almost.
But in the end, I think I could see Jericho picking up the win over Umino, sorry. So I just feel like I don't see Kingston or Yuta really taking the pinfall loss or the submission loss here. So, but yeah, across the board, we got the Jericho Appreciation Society and Suzuki winning this match.
Just don't crack your head open headbutting someone so hard like they did in freaking Japan.
Yeah.
I will say this pay-per-view has a lot of multi-man matches. Holy shit.
I know, right?
Hopefully this isn't a 6-hour freaking pay-per-view again. Like
no, it's not. It's an 8-hour.
Oh God.
Gosh.
I think that's the one thing that kills me is these 6-hour pay-per-views. If you're gonna do it for 6 hours, start it at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's my big gripe about AEW pay-per-views. They're way too fucking long.
But his whole thing with the last pay-per-view being as long as it was because they were going against the NBA tournament, so playoffs rather.
Yeah, but I mean 6 hours. I mean it's so it's so long. I mean they could get if they started at 7. If they started at 7, and do it for I feel like 4 hours is good. 4 to 3.5.
Yep.
Okay.
So it brings us to the main event of the evening. As we were mentioning earlier, CM Punk was originally supposed to be in this match against Tanahashi. He's out with the injury. We got an eliminator tournament to determine who would be going in here. Before we go into this match, though, what was your guys' take on how they determined who would be in this match? I mean, you start with a battle royal where the winner would go on to face Jon Moxley that same night, and then the winner of that match would go on to this match, and then Tanahashi had his own qualifying match in New Japan as well.
I think they should have done 2 battle royals and just have the winners fight it out instead of giving Moxley that free pass to the match.
Right.
Personally, I would have just did an 8-man tournament on each side. I would have done NJPW 8-man tournament same night. I would have done AEW 8-man tournament same night. And that would have been it.
I mean, I can see why they didn't do a tournament per se because they already had their tournament lined up for the All-Atlantic title tournament, and they just had the Owen Hart tournaments. I mean, when do you have too many tournaments?
You know, I would have had like a 4-way to determine who goes, or 2 4-ways to determine who face each other the next week.
But they got to have a bunch of tournaments so they can match the amount of titles they have.
I know, right?
They got to have a tournament to determine who the tournament champion is going to be. The only way to defend the tournament championship is in tournaments. Like Mortal
Who would
Kombat.
have thought?
I mean, I love tournaments, but still.
This
I think
one's
we can eliminate the amount of tournaments.
This one's going to be a really tough one to call right here. This one's tough because both these men know each other very well. Both these men are familiar with each other.
Both these men are familiar with each other, but have not faced.
And they've never faced before, but they have been in the same territory, is what I mean.
Yes.
They've been in the same territory. So
Moxley's been chasing Tanahashi.
Familiar in a way. So Moxley can turn it up. Now, it's all a matter of which Moxley we're going to get. Are we going to get the New Japan Moxley where he's just destroying everyone, or are we going to get the AEW John Moxley where he's just murdering
WWE Dean Ambrose?
Or are we good? Yeah, that Dean Ambrose dead and gone.
And
He's been gone for a while.
He's gonna come out with the gas mask too. It's gonna be that one.
It's all the matter of how badly he's going to murder someone. So if we're getting either way, it's gonna be a hell of a fight, man. Both these men are gonna absolutely rip each other apart. But in the end of the day, I think that Moxley is going to get the belt. I think I want Tanahashi to win it. I really do. That you all know how I feel about Tanahashi. That's my boy. But, Moxley's my boy too. So both these men are really talented. But I think it's going to be brutal. There's going to be blood. But those two
Moxley's there.
There's definitely going to be blood, but I think Moxley is going to barely win.
So let me bring up 2 facts before we go on through this.
Boy.
This is to determine the interim AEW World Championship, and part of that is that whoever wins this will go on eventually to a dream match with CM Punk, as they put it on Dynamite. 2, kudos to Mox and Tanahashi for standing in the middle of the ring, staring each other down, yakking back and forth during the whole 5-minute brawl that took place all around the ring at the end of Dynamite. I mean, what the hell? How could you guys imagine? D-Lock, you've been in the ring plenty of times. How could you imagine being told, hey, we want you to stand out here, right in the middle of the ring, stare down your upcoming opponent. Everybody else is going to be around the ring fighting. You guys just don't blink an eye.
I'll tell him what I'll tell him what I would have told him. You're a fucking idiot. That's what I would have told him. That was. I feel like you should have just, after the match, just set it up, let them stare down, and then that's it. No interference. Just let them stare down. Screen go black, cut it off there, bam, you got the anticipation. But when you got all this shit going on in the back and they're just standing in the ring, it's like, I mean, if I was in there, I'd be fucking laughing. I would just be laughing because I couldn't focus. And it just takes away from the moment that this is your main event. It needs to be the focus point, not a brawl.
Right.
They could pull Page versus Goldberg and cut off the match completely, so no one could see it. They got so much backlash from that they ended up having the same match on the next Nitro.
Yeah, let's just do WWE and just have the whole match in red lights.
Yeah.
Yep.
No.
We'll have Brock Lesnar interfere and throw another car door in the crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could have had the whole stare down on Ambrose's Asylum.
Well then.
Well, we could have a what you call it? We could have a match that when Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton had. Could have that match where they were literally just fighting in a house.
Let's not relive. Let's not relive my nightmares, please.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Someone's getting thrown into an ambulance.
Yeah.
But anyway, as crazy as that ending to Dynamite was, this match should be pretty good. I will admit, I'm not as familiar with Tanahashi as what some people might be, but he looked a little, I don't know if it was slow or what to call it, like he was maybe a little lost in that tag team match to me in the main event of Dynamite. But I still expect a very good match here. At the end, I've got myself, I think John Moxley is picking up the win and taking the title, although I do hope to see Tanahashi and Punk somewhere down the line.
Yeah, I feel like this is a little bit too predictable to me. But I mean, you never know. You could see a swerve. I mean, but I just don't think that's gonna happen. I feel like Moxley's gonna win. That's Tony Khan's guy, and he's definitely gonna be around a lot more than Tanahashi will.
Right.
So is it just me, or does Tanahashi kind of remind you of Funaki?
Maybe a little bit.
Someone
But not
had to
that
say
much.
A short, yeah, a short. He's a taller version of Funaki. Now I can get it out of my head.
Speaking of
Don's over here comparing Tanahashi to Funaki, and on Dynamite you have Excalibur comparing Excalibur, I think it was, or Tony Schiavone, one or the other, comparing him to Bret Hart. There you go.
Hey, at least mine's more believable.
Right.
Yeah, well,
He's
if
just
Funaki
He's
had
gonna
the
come
skills
out to Funaki's music, or Funaki's gonna interfere, and Tanahashi's
freaking
gonna
Kung
win.
Funaki, oh my lord.
Kind of.
We'll have him come out to Kung Funaki. There you go.
There you go.
Does that mean he's gonna get thrown over the rope and smash his face?
Probably.
Not once, but twice.
Look,
That's the best
look, it won't be
part.
Kung Fu Naki. Look, it's not gonna be Kung Fu Naki. It's gonna be Kung Fu Teriyaki. That's what.
Hey, he can run to the ring, right? Get thrown over the top rope and sound like a damn fly swatter will fly as soon as he hits the freaking ground, and then come back and do it again, like two more times.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But
I feel
anyway,
like
Moxley's
Moxley's
gonna
gonna win
win.
this. Yeah, I mean, after whoever, if he wins, then who's next? I mean, Wardlow doesn't want to go for the title because it's not Punk.
One of those guys' eyes
I
on
mean,
Scorpio.
Hey, he can do a 40-on-1 handicap match now.
Yeah, I think that 20-man on one was bad enough. I don't think we need a 40-on-1.
Gosh, that was almost at the levels of bad of Sting versus the squad of midgets. It was almost that bad.
I mean, we gotta be careful talking about this match. We throw so many jokes at it. It's going to turn a comedy match. Then midway through the match, here comes Orange Cassidy.
Good lord. We'll have
oh dear
freaking
God,
me and Santino Morella. Why not? There we go.
Oh,
Maybe
jeez.
we can have orange chicken teriyaki.
Orange Morello teriyaki. There we go.
Oh, shit.
I mean, what are the in all reality, like what are the rankings? I mean, 'cause I know
You want to know
Moxley's gonna
rankings?
win. Then I know it's Wardlow, and then it's who after that? Hangman.
Yeah, I think that it's him.
I'll tell you in just a moment.
Wardlow, Hangman. Then I think it's
Adam Cole.
Adam
Moxley,
Cole.
Wardlow, Page, Cole, and Lethal.
Oh damn! I forgot about.
Yeah, I
Lethal.
wouldn't mind seeing.
I
I
forgot
wouldn't mind
Jay
seeing
Lethal even
Moxley
worked in
versus Lethal.
I forgot he worked there.
I'm not going to see Moxley and Lethal, though, because Lethal's got Joe.
I literally forgot Jay Lethal even signed with AEW.
Man,
So you almost feel like
Mox versus Lethal would be
that is
lethally
Moxley
insane.
versus Hangman.
In a Lethal Asylum match. There we go. A Lethal Asylum match.
Man, that match is barely lethal to exist.
Ha! The pay-per-view could be
mean,
called Barely Lethal.
So I'm actually, if you think about it, when you look at what's next after Forbidden Door, Moxley is part of Blood and Guts. So probably what they'll do is start up a feud between him and whomever from the Jericho Appreciation Society they want as the next opponent.
Oh, it's totally neat.
But that's the
Moxley
thing.
versus
That's the
Jericho.
thing, and then you're going into the rankings again. I mean,
True.
it's got to make sense.
But they have thrown some people just around for the hell of it too. So
what I think is going to happen
I
after this, I think Page and Cole are going to focus on the Switchblade. That's what I think. And I think it's going to boil down to Moxley focusing on somebody from the Jericho Appreciation Society. And, Wardlow's got Scorpio. So it would make sense storyline-wise for that. So I think Cole, the crap between Cole and Page, that's going to be the feud that lasts forever. That's going to be like the Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens of wrestling now. So
one of the interesting things for me, though, when you talk about Blood and Guts coming up next week, it looks like they might actually have 12 people involved in that match instead of the usual 8 or 10.
Yeah, War Games.
Yeah, War Games, but they can't call it that because WWE has that right. But the Jericho Appreciation Society now has 6 people, and it looks like Mox and Kingston are going to end up having 6 people on their side as well, because you got Santana Ortiz, and then Yuta, and whoever this mystery person is that Brian's bringing back as part of it too. So it'll be interesting to see how they do.
Maybe it's Jay Lethal.
It's Blood and War.
Blood and War. Yeah, you could have went that way. Blood and Guts for the 3 of us is actually in our home state, so or 2 of the 3 of us anyway.
That's in Michigan.
Yeah. So they in Detroit.
People on here that live in Michigan?
Huh?
There's people on here that live in Michigan?
Yeah.
There's one person
won't be
that goes to Michigan, right? He doesn't live in Michigan. I don't know who that could be.
Yeah.
Maybe the only person sitting in the dark, maybe. Maybe he lives in Indiana.
We have dark here, but that's had fun. But anyway, it should be interesting to see how this whole plays out. I feel like, honestly, it's billed as an AEW New Japan Pro Wrestling pay-per-view, but AEW is definitely getting the better end of the shtick, if you will, in this situation, in my opinion.
Yeah, it seems like the forbidden door is only going to swing one way when it comes to those again. So
really, you can't, titles-wise, you can't do much about it because you don't want to have an AEW title on a guy that's going to be over in New Japan and not be in the States that often, or vice versa, for that matter, as well.
Yeah.
New Japan will get their chances to shine, I mean, including the IWGP Championship match, World Championship match.
Yep.
This feels like more of a showcase for the AEW guys here than it does New Japan, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know that was Tony's original
But
idea.
I mean, who knows? I mean, there could be a lot of swerves. I mean, we really don't know.
That's true.
I know it's going to be a hell of a pay-per-view. I know that.
Also true. All right. There are a lot of big names actually missing from this show, though, from AEW. So surprisingly, I guess some of them can't be because of their relationship with a different Japan company. Looking at Andrade, for that matter, in Penta and Rey Fenix. You got Scorpio Sky, who's out injured right now. That's not on the card. Wardlow, who doesn't want to be. But you only got so much space, I suppose, too. Not that that mattered at the last pay-per-view.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised Wardlow wasn't on the card.
All right. I think if Scorpio Sky wasn't injured, they probably would have had a match between those two, but I don't know for sure. It would seem like they would have had somebody from New Japan they could have put in with Wardlow. Lance Archer was even built up the last couple of weeks, kind of representing New Japan, and he's not even on the card. So.
Yeah, wasn't it supposed to be him and not, or it was supposed to be him instead of Suzuki? Or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they were doing with that. I know he teamed up with Jericho this week, but he was on loan from Suzuki, I think is what Jericho was saying. How that figures out when Archer's already in AEW is beyond me, but okay. Not everything makes sense in AEW, so. But anyway, be interesting to see how it all plays out. There's been talk of Forbidden Door being a yearly staple for AEW, so we'll see how this one gets received and if they do go on past it and if it'll be just New Japan or other companies that will be involved next time. This is the part, though, where I say plugs, any of them you guys got, go for it. We take this out. Yeah, Busta Boy, I know you got your shit.
My only plug that I had was in October, but I have to wait till October 31st for that one. It gets a little closer. I am doing a VTW tribute show for WECW called Halloween Hangover, October 31st, 2022. Hoping to get some VTW originals there. Really hoping for one. If it is one night only, that'd be great. I got some dream matches I want to book, and I'm hoping I can do it before I retire. But for the most part, I stream on my Twitch, twitch.tv/Busta Boy. I do a lot of speed runs. I've been doing a whole lot of speed runs. And yesterday I did one. I did a blindfold speed run. I just literally put this dark ass hot blanket on my freaking head and just played Mortal Kombat 11 that way. And that's it.
Okay. And well, for me, I got probably next week. Not sure what day yet, but I'll probably be jumping on here again for a Money in the Bank prediction show. But that's all I got lined up.
I mean, depending on what day you do it, I'll be on
Yeah,
that
like
one.
I said, just follow my Twitter. It's D-Lock. Obviously, you'll find it eventually. Tony, you can shove it in there and the description. Watch some wrestling. You want to see me wrestle? Just go to VTW Wrestling. DBW. Been making a couple appearances up there, but VTW will be back, and I will be full time on there. So, just give those channels and stuff subscribe, and hopefully you enjoy the product. And Tony, I always appreciate you letting me on the shows, and I had fun with Busta Boy and finally meeting John, and I had a blast. So
Yeah. Right. I'll let you guys know what's going on for next week later, but
For sure.
that we gotta go.